So it is officially the first day of the year, so goodbye 2025 and hello 2026. Hi guys, it is Mandy from Mandyleeplays, and today I have a perfect video for this occasion. The games that I'm excited to see in 2026. And by the looks of it, we're getting some really good games down the line. So I'm going to showcase my favorite ones that we've seen so far and why I'm excited for them. And just aside, I will also show you what consoles they're coming out for and what dates, if they have an exact date. And also, if you see this symbol with any of these games, that means that the games are key cards. I'm not gonna say anything much about them, don't worry. If you end up liking this video, please hit that like button and subscribe if you're not yet subscribed. Also, please let me know what games you are looking forward to in 2026. I would love to hear them. So without further ado, let's dive right into it. The first game on the list is Dragon Quest VII Remake. This one I'm excited for a lot of different reasons, but we haven't seen a more modern Dragon Quest game in a while, so I am super excited for this remake. And recently, I beat Dragon Quest 1, and I did not like Dragon Quest 1, and I'll get more into it when I do my wrap-up, but I really didn't enjoy it, so I'm itching for a more modern Dragon Quest game, because I do love the series. I love Dragon Quest 3 and Dragon Quest 11. So when they announced a remake, naturally everyone expected the next move to be a remake of the beloved, pardon me if I butcher this, Zenithia trilogy, which includes 4, 5, and 6. But Square threw us a curveball because instead of those games, they remade Dragon Quest VII. Now, I don't really know which one's better than the other. I haven't really played them, but hopefully fans weren't too mad. Although in Japan, this was the best-selling PlayStation 1 game of all time. So when I say in Japan, Dragon Quest is big, I'm not exaggerating, it is huge. It's like a holiday to them. Now, I'm not sure why Dragon Quest is a big deal in Japan, but not really in the West. I would love to know why. Because here in the West, Dragon Quest VII was kind of a niche game. So Square Enix is not only remaking this game, they're overhauling it, where it's kind of considered a reimagining. Kind of like what they did with Final Fantasy VII. I think 7 is their lucky number. With this new remake of Dragon Quest VII, they are completely overhauling the pacing. They've promised to streamline the infinite slow introduction, modernizing the job system, and giving the visual fidelity it deserves. I love the graphics, but the characters look really, it's not exactly a chibi, but it's not exactly a full 3D model. They're kind of in between, so they look really weird, proportion-wise. Everything else looks amazing. And they're also adding quality of life features that respect our time, which are fantastic. However, the quality of life features is just the appetizer. The story itself is said to be really good. In Dragon Quest VII, you start on a single lonely island in the middle of an endless ocean, and the rest of the world isn't exactly in danger. It's already gone. The world already went to ruin, basically. You're kind of late to the party. I've heard a lot of people say Dragon Quest VII story is a bit darker than the rest, and I'm here like, yes, I want more of that. I don't want no more basic Dragon Lord BS like in Dragon Quest 1. I want an actual story. And then there's the gameplay. If you like the job system from Dragon Quest 3, it's kind of the same with Dragon Quest 7, but there is a ton of different jobs. We're talking about 30 vocations, which is insane. So that's all we know about the game so far, and I'm really excited for this game. And yes, I've heard that the game is a bit long, but I'm no stranger to long games. I'm playing Octopath Traveler 0, and the game just keeps going. If anything, I relish in them. Now, the next game is actually not a remake or remaster. It's a new entry to a series, and that is with Monster Hunter Stories 3. So the Monster Hunter Stories series is actually a spin-off of the mainline Monster Hunter games. The main differences is you get to actually befriend some of the monsters and take them on your journey, whereas Monster Hunter is just about hunting the monsters. And I will say Kizu, well, not the prettiest monster, is kind of cute in Monster Hunter Stories. I don't know, something about that really derpy smile. It's kind of so ugly, it's cute. Anyways, moving on. So with the recent release of Monster Hunter Rise, they really wanted to capitalize the hype of that game. And while Monster Hunter Stories is not as popular as Monster Hunter, it will get more people into the series. Anyways though, this game takes place 200 years after the events of the second Monster Hunter Stories game, which is insane. But I think they did it that way so people don't feel pressured to play the first two games and they could just dive right into the third game without really knowing much of what happened in the previous game. So not only is this perfect for new fans, but now Varu is not in this game unless he survived 200 years. A knowing character aside, the game will center around two kingdoms that are in odds with each other, as they both struggle to survive the environmental disaster known as the Crystal Encroachment. Editing Mandy here, I meant to say the Crystal Encroachment, which is basically a phenomenon where monsters grow crystals all over their body and become berserk as a result. So as this war looms between the two nations, you alongside your friend Eleanor must find the source of this mysterious disease. So honestly, the story premise is really cool. It takes a lot of points from the previous two games while making it different, and I do love the graphics. The graphics look beautiful. And also collecting more monsties, and I'm still on that Monster Hunter Wild type, so I'm loving it. Now the next one is a bit controversial, not gonna lie, and even I kind of gave it a side eye because it feels unnecessary, but let's start with what the game is. This game is Tales of Vesperia Remastered. Now, a lot of people are not liking this remaster simply because it's a more recent Tales game. Tales of Vesperia was one of the last games to come out until Tales of Arise, which is the recent game, so it's not that old. I have the game for my PlayStation 4, so a lot of people weren't really fans of this announcement. But when I thought about it more, it does make a little bit of sense. Now, I still think the game should have been priority over the other games, especially the older ones, but there's a but. But this remaster is the perfect chance for people on the Xbox, which honestly I don't think there's many, and on the Nintendo Switch to get their hands on this game. And to just flat out say, I feel like Vesperia is probably the easiest game to remaster because it's so recent than the older ones, so they probably need more time to cook with the older ones. But since they're gonna remake and remaster pretty much all of them, it wasn't out of the realm that they would try to remaster this one. But don't get it twisted, this is not me defending this practice. I didn't think it was a good move, but I do understand it to some extent. And yes, I am excited to play the remastered version. And even though I have the game, I haven't played Tales of Vesperia. I haven't gotten to it yet. It's in my backlog of doom. And the reason why I'm waiting for the remastered version is because the quality of life changes really do change the whole enjoyment of the game for me. And it also includes all the DLCs that came out for this game. And of course, they added the great shop before you start the game. But anyways, for those who don't know, Tales of Vesperia is the 16th game in the Tales series, and it serves as a prequel to Tales of Zestiria. Tales of Vesperia as a game and story is really interesting because unlike the other ones where you play as the hero, in this game you play as a very gray character. So I'm loving this twist in the narrative, and I'm honestly very excited to play it when it comes out. And I hope to the gaming gods that they don't pull a Tales of Arise remaster or remake. That is too soon in my opinion. Now moving to another remaster, and that is for Ys memoir Revelations of Celceta. So with Ys memoir Alta Fengala fresh in my mind, it's nice to see that we're getting another Ys memoir game, this time being Memoirs of Celceta. There is a bit of a story with this game, but I'll be brief about it. So Revelations of Celceta is the official 4th entry into the series. So it takes place after Nordics, but before Alta Fengala. So basically with the Ys series, they don't really go by canonical order. They're meant to be retellings of Adol's adventure, which is the protagonist. So that's why we get a bunch of stories that are earlier in his lifetime and ones that are later in his lifetime, because it's basically somebody is retelling the story with each game. Alrighty, time for a quick synopsis of this game. Adol just stumbles into this town where he's exhausted, confused, and stuttering from total amnesia. And he happens to venture into the great forest of Celceta, a place where nobody returns. So yeah, I'm really excited for the remake of this game, mostly because I am itching for another Ys game, and I want to make it my mission to actually play every Ys game. I don't know when that's going to be done, but I do want to get around to playing all of them. Okay, the next one is a game that I'm absolutely stoked for. Like, I'm really looking forward to it. And what's the game? Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave. Oh my god, this game is so hype. And Fire Emblem fans have been deprived of a good Fire Emblem game, but sadly, we don't really know much about it yet. So this portion won't be that long. All we know is that it takes place in the Three Houses universe, and it could be a prequel or a sequel. We don't really know yet. And in the trailer, we saw this sort of gladiator event going on, and the winner is set to gain a wish from the divine sovereign, which is Sophis in my opinion, but not in her little chibi form. She's actually in her big adult form, which is really nice to see. I love her character design. And that's basically all I know. Like I said, they didn't give us much information when it came to this game. So I'm really looking forward to more news about this game and to see where the story is going. Although I do know that some people don't like that it might be set in the Three Houses universe. And honestly, I felt like they could have taken it somewhere else. But Fodlan as a setting has a ton of history and lore behind it. It's no wonder that this might be a prequel. There is so much going on in Fodlan. So I'm really hopeful for whatever this game is going to be. I've been itching for a new Fire Emblem game, and this one looks like it's going to be really good. Now going from a game we literally know nothing about to a game that actually has a demo. And that is for The Adventures of Elliot's Millennium Tales. If you played the demo or have seen the trailers for this game, you might think, hey, the aesthetics of this game look very familiar. And you're right on that, because this game is developed by the people who brought us Octopath Traveler, Triangle Strategy, and the Dragon Quest remakes. But this one's a little bit different because instead of a turn-based gameplay mechanic, it is an action-based gameplay mechanic. And a lot of people who've played the demo, including me, say that it plays a lot like The Legend of Zelda. But I don't really think that's a diss on the game. It's pretty obvious that they were inspired by The Legend of Zelda, but it's not a copy and paste of The Legend of Zelda. At least that's what I think when I played the demo. So in this game, you play as Elliot, who makes a living taking requests from townspeople and going on adventures. So the story starts with Elliot receiving a request from the king to investigate these ruins, leading him to discovering time-altering portals that send him on a journey through time. And aiding him in his journey is a fairy companion, Faye. The Adventure of Elliot has the markings of a really good game. I love Team Masato games. I'm currently devouring Octopath Traveler 0 and I absolutely love it. So I really have high hopes and expectations from Team Masato because they really haven't let me down, except Triangle Strategy. So of course I'm really excited for this newest entry. Now for the last game, which is the game I am the most excited for. This is like the GTA 6 of my hypeness, and that is for Trails in the Sky second chapter. With the massive cliffhanger that the first chapter left me on, I was shooked. And no, I am not playing the original second chapter. I was debating it to myself, but honestly, I'm so used to the new remake graphics that I really don't want to go back. Now, I'm not going to explain the story here all that much because I don't really know and I'm really trying to avoid spoilers, so there's not going to be a story section here. Anyways, the trailer for this game looked fantastic. It is looking to be a more bigger adventure than the first game, and also there is a bunch of new characters. I am honestly really excited to see where this story goes. And I've heard that this is considered the best of the trilogy, and I'm really excited to continue Estelle and Joshua's journey and see how the story goes after that epic cliffhanger. But I will say, if you want to experience second chapter to its fullest, I recommend playing the first chapter because the story picks up right where the first chapter left off. So this wraps up the games that I'm really looking forward in the year of 2026. And please share your picks in the comments down below. I would love to read them. Please hit that like button if you liked it and consider subscribing if you're not yet subscribed. I have a good feeling 2026 is gonna be a banger of a year, and hopefully I'm not wrong about that. Anyways, with all that being said, I hope you guys have a wonderful, fantastic rest of your day, and as always, play a good game. Peace, peace.